And welcome to another episode of All Items Considered, the program where we consider all items from all around the world. We have a great episode today. I'm actually very excited for this one. We have this here. This is a Ibanez Jem series copy ordered off of AliExpress, and after $199 and 21 days later, it is now at my house. And we are going to open this box up. Hopefully they've made the order accurate. And we're going to see what we have. So first off, I want to show you real quick, the Ibanez Jem is a great guitar. I don't have an actual $2,000 Ibanez Jem, but I do have one of the cheaper versions, which is the Ibanez Jem Junior. Now this is a little bit different because I have changed out the pickguard, and I did put a Seymour Duncan pickup in there. I didn't like the Ibanez Quantums that actually came in there. They were kind of muddy for me, a little bit soft on the tones. So I swapped that out, and it's actually quite nice. Now this one here is actually a Chinese kit. Beautiful guitar. It was one that I had to actually finish. I put some layers of linseed oil, and then did a nice finish on that. This is actually a handmade custom pickguard from a woman in Germany. It's very beautiful. And I do have some Seymour Duncan Gus G blackouts. These are a hybrid pickup. I actually had to mount a battery underneath the pickguard here. It has a preamp built in, and I did put a Goto tremolo in, which is really nice. And it actually turned out to be a really solid guitar. Very beautiful. It has I believe the 5-piece neck, and it's kind of the wizard style that they have. But this is a kit. This was from China, and it's actually a great guitar. So, and I did have to put the Ibanez logo. Of course, I'm not selling this, but, it turned out very nice. All right, so we're going to commence with the opening. We'll be right back when I get a pair of scissors. And we are back, and we have the scissors to open the box. Just to recap, this is the Ibanez Series 70V, I believe is what the model number is. Seafoam green. Now, this is my first guitar fully constructed that I've ordered from China. This was off of AliExpress. $199, so I really don't know what to expect. But we are going to find out right now. Okay. Now it does look like it was pretty nice packaging. There's a couple of dents here from its travel, but they seem to make it pretty sturdy and strong. And again, this only took 21 days to get here, so not too bad. Now this seafoam green guitar, this was actually one of the premium series from Steve Vai's line. It was more of a cost-effective, should I say, Jem. So here we go. This is what she looks like. I got another layer in here. Yeah, this is actually a pretty strong little box. I'm surprised. Really nice. Okay. And they kind of wrapped it up nice here. We can see the seafoam green. Go ahead and back up just a little bit there. Let's get the whole... I'm going to take these pieces out. They did pack it nice. I did feel it rattling around in there, so all right, and here we go. Now, before I completely open this up, I'm going to talk about some things that I right off the bat notice on this thing as opposed to, what an actual Jem is. Wow, okay, so far I'm actually quite impressed. It's very smooth, nice finish. So there she is. It's even got a little tag on it here. It says Ibanez. Of course, we know this is not an Ibanez. Now, I'm surprised it does say Ibanez Premium. I didn't think they would remember to put the premium on here, because there's very few Jems that are the premium series. So this one is one of them. No, our first flaw. Now, it could be in here somewhere, but they're missing a nut right there. It could be in the stuff that we have in here, but it does not have a locking nut up there on the neck. So... Now looking at the Tree of Life inlay, it looks good, but one of the things I notice is the vine part of the Tree of Life, that is the same color as the leaves. In the actual seafoam green guitar, it's a different color. It's kind of a brownish, a pearl brown. So that's a little bit off. We have the pickups here. Okay, each one of these pickups say DiMarzio. Now I would bet dollars to donuts that these are not DiMarzios. They are whatever Chinese things they put in there. DiMarzio does not put the name DiMarzio on their pickups. This comes standard. Well, the real guitar comes standard with DiMarzio Evolutions, which are fantastic pickups. These are definitely not those. Now the strings are, so they didn't tighten the strings. We gotta do a setup on this to even play it. Okay, here's another design flaw. Well, not a design flaw, but something that they shouldn't have done. They actually scalloped the frets. They did a better job of scalloping these frets than they did my kit, the one that I showed you earlier. But you know what? This particular model does not have scalloped frets. It actually has the smooth ones there. So we got a seafoam green with scalloped frets. A little bit off on the pick guard here. I'm not too happy with that. That's kind of interesting. The lion claw definitely comes down a little bit too far from what I like. That's in the other guitars it's pulled back about probably a half of an inch at least. So I don't really like that too much, but it should probably work. Usually they have the Ibanez Edge pickup, or I'm sorry, the Edge tremolo here. I don't know if that's an actual Edge tremolo. Probably not. Probably just the cheap Chinese version. So that's what it looks like. There's the back. Looks like they have the volutes up here, little neck support, and the multi-piece neck. So they have the Ibanez stamp up here. You know, the next thing we can do is play this thing and try it out. So I'm going to do a little bit of a setup because, of course, it's not going to play right now the way it is. And then we'll be back and see how it sounds. And we're back once again. Now that I've had a chance to actually examine this guitar, I wanted to kind of go through a little bit more detail of a comparison before I go ahead and set this up. So again, the only comparison I have is my Jem Junior. I have replaced the pick guard of my Jem Junior, but even in replacing that, you can see how everything lines up nice on the lower part of the guitar. This pick guard was a really nice fit. Now the one that this came with, the Chinese copy, you can see that it is not even close to being aligned right. I actually poked my finger on the top of this and it kind of hurt. They didn't quite get the right size or style or whatever of pickguard on this. I did put on the whammy bar here. Now the reason it's sticking out so much is because the bridge is still rocked completely back. I do have to get it set up for this to be straight. But I noticed this whammy bar is, even with it completely screwed in, it's kind of wobbly and it doesn't stay solid in place. Like on the Junior, it does. You can adjust it to wherever you want. It's very solid. But this one just flops around and it's screwed in as tight as it's going to get. So not very good quality on that. We look at, this is an actual Ibanez Edge tremolo on the Junior, and the Ibanez logo is stamped in. And you can actually feel it in there. But if we go over to the copy, this is not stamped. It's actually printed on. So that tells me that this is not an actual Edge tremolo system. So now if we move up to the very top here, again, I left this exactly as it came. They did forget to put the middle nut on there. And I do have an extra one, of course, so I'm going to throw that in there and we'll call that good. But if we go to the very top of it, the cut right here at the top is obviously a little bit off. It's kind of flat. It needs to be a little bit more pointed up there. If we look at the Jem Junior, it's a lot better, just more solid. So yeah, kind of interesting. And on my Jem Junior, I put a truss rod cover with Steve Vai's logo on there. I thought that looked kind of cool. But anyway, this is the comparison. So far, I don't know how I'm going to rate these things, but so far, the overall appearance, it's kind of what I expected, but I'm giving this maybe I'm going to be generous with a 3 out of 5 stars. It's average. But again, what I paid, $199. Haven't played it yet. We're going to set it up. We'll do a nice setup on this thing and hook it in, and we'll be back to see how it sounds. So we'll be right back. are probably 2.5 weeks after I opened this guitar, and when I plugged it in for the first time, it did not work. So I did have to open up the pickguard and this plate in the back. I went through all the wiring. I did find a wire loose, so I soldered it back on, and now it seems to be working good. Some other things that we did here, I really like the neck of this guitar. It actually feels more like a Strat, not as much the Wizard neck that's on the Gems, but it's finished really nice. It feels good. The inlay is really pretty. The nut I did have to file down a little bit underneath. I took the whole thing out, filed some of the wood down so it would seat a little bit better and give a little bit better action and feel on the strings. This truss rod cover, they must have cut the truss rod cover out by hand because it was so horrible. So I did replace it with this new truss rod cover that does actually fit. The screws are between the strings so you can pull it out and have easy access to it without taking the strings off, unlike that first one. It was terrible. Again, the neck is not quite cut right, but whatever, we can deal with that. So, not too bad. It's okay. I think this would be more of a beginner's guitar player guitar. You know, people ask me, hey, you know, should I just get a cheap, crappy guitar to start out with? No, I think you should get something decent. I think this would actually now pass as something for a beginner, because it does feel good. It's been set up. The action is really nice. I put 9-gauge strings on it, and it seems to do pretty decent. I'm not playing for show, believe me. I'm just a hobby player. Yeah, it feels really good. I'm running it through Guitar Rig 5. There's some great effects on that. But there's a little bit of fret buzz. I think you can probably, with some more adjustments, get past that. Let's see. Let me get something different here. I want to show a little clean tone here. Now, Guitar Rig has a lot of these kind of different sounding. It'll load in here in just a second. Okay, so I had to fiddle around with my Guitar Rig here. The thing I like about Guitar Rig is it's got all these cool different effects, kind of spacey sounding type sounds like this. That does sound kind of cool. I do like the neck pickup for this. It actually does give a really nice kind of, you know, that neck style tone. We'll switch back to a different tone here. Let's see, we'll go to styles. I like the crunchy tones that this program puts out. Like this delay here, this solo delay. I think it's the imitation of like a 5150 amp. Pretty cool. You can really hear that delay sound in it. That's pretty awesome. Kind of do hear a little bit of buzzing there on the A string. So yeah, a couple of adjustments can be done there. But all in all, it's not too bad. Like I said, this is a good beginner's guitar. Do I recommend buying guitars from China? Not if you're looking for something decent to play right out of the box. I think with some fitting and adjusting and changing things out, they seem to be okay after you do that, but you have to really like doing that. Unfortunately, I like doing that. So I may either just sell this or give it away, or I don't know. But I'll probably do another review because it is kind of fun. So anyway, that's the guitar. Thanks for joining us for All Items Considered. See you next time.